You mentioned there that at Motherwell you made your Scotland debut in the squad. How was that feeling when you first got called up for your country?
Well, before that, when Bertie Vogts came in, he wanted to see everybody, I think, that was eligible for Scotland. And they had it was a Scotland Futures game, or no a game, it was like a training meet-up. And Eric Black was the manager, so I hadn't played that many games, and he pulled me after training and says, "Oh, you've called up to this Scotland squad." And I'd been in an under-20s tournament to the Foyle Cup or the Milk Cup, whatever it was. And up until then, I'd never been in any Scotland squad for young age. The first one was that. Then I get called up, and I thought, this is brilliant. I'm going to train with these players. And then obviously I got called up to Scotland, and I just when I was younger, I had an unbelievable belief that I was brilliant. I wasn't arrogant. I just thought, I'm good enough. I'll go and show everybody I can play. And I just thought, I looked at some of the players and thought, I think I'm ready to go and see what it's like.
Because I've spoke to other boys like Aidan, they had that same belief. Do you think you need that to play at the top level?
I think you need, if you don't believe in yourself, then...
But do you think there's a lack of that now?
Aye, I think, as I said, young boys make a mistake that he's good in.
Because they get shouted at?
They shout themselves, and I think they watch the top level and they see all the good stuff that these players do and don't think they make any mistakes. So it's like, they watch maybe all the stuff you see now on Instagram, YouTube, it's all edited. You don't see them messing up, so they think, oh, these are... And I think the pressure on them to be perfect, I just think that's society in general. But getting into football, it's to be perfect, the pressure on people is incredible. They're desperate not to make a mistake. And they're in a rush to just bypass that initial phase of making a mistake and going, oh, well, I made a mistake, sorry. No, like you used to get it, you make a mistake, hold your hands up, you'd have the old guy shouting at you, somebody else shouting at you, the manager, oh, right, hold on, I know I've made a mistake, let's move on, we'll go on with it, and I think you need to be a strong person to deal with that.
See, when you first went into that Scotland, the setup, how was the training compared to Motherwell? What was the standard? Was it a massive difference?
Aye, it was obviously a higher tempo, the players are, initially at the start, I can't really remember too much.
Who were the ones that stood out? Can you remember thinking what to play?
When I first went. When I first went, it was a lot of, as I said, it was more people were getting a chance to come in and out, so some of them were good and some of them weren't good, so it was more a bit of a trial and error. Obviously, when I was more established and the squad was kind of more established, it was the standard of training was frightening because you've got the best players and everybody wants to play, and you're obviously players. I didn't play every week for my club. But when I went, I made sure I trained hard enough so that people didn't say, oh, he's not fit, he's not match sharp, so that people would say, right, if I need him, I can use him. And everybody was the same. Tackles flying in, you couldn't train like that anymore because the boys smash you.
Would they?
You just had to, that was it. You didn't fall out. It was just that was how the standard of training.
Would Bertie Vogts, would he want that?
He used to smash you.
Did he?
Bertie and Tam
Did he be Puma Kings on? I remember Tam used to.
Bertie and Tam would do the boxes, so you'd think, right. Obviously, he was a great player. So he'd go in the box, and usually, maybe you'd have an older coach or a manager, they'd lose the ball and put somebody else in. No, they two went in, and if you passed it, bang,
I can't remember Tommy showed us a video you kept off, and both of them were sliding in.
Smash you. Wasn't he like, not because he was a manager, I just imagine that's the way he was, and it was like, well, if I'm going to go on the outside, I'm going to go in. And if you pass it about, I'm going to smash you. And that's what they've done.
Brilliant,
the two of them done it.
What was it about yourself you think that Bertie Vogts liked so much? Was it because you were a wee cheeky boy?
I think it was, the cheeky boy one comes up. But that was obviously a wee bit lost in translation, but I think we all got what he meant. And I think it was that gallousness. It was, same again, I didn't disrespect people, but I just had a belief. I didn't let things bother me, and I just kept going, and I think he liked that.
Tommy would have loved that as well, because
Tom
he
was brilliant.
Was he good for you when you first went in?
When I went to the Future squad, I'd spoke to him, I think it was up at Seamill, and as I got in, I was obviously brought up a Celtic fan. I loved Tommy Burns, and he pulled me at the side, and I was like, this is brilliant. And he says, look, just go and do what you can do. He says, I'm telling you now, if I was Celtic manager, I'd have you in my team. And I was like,
he had a great way of making you feel so good, didn't he?
He was brilliant, and he was always there. He was always there for me you know what he's like. His one-liners were brilliant. It was the same 5 or 6 phrases, but it just got you every time.
I could get boys at the social club to come in there.
You've got guys that can do that. Everything all right at home, all that stuff. It was brilliant.
You've been drinking with your breakfast. Drinking at breakfast again. Oh, brilliant, eh? But so, because Banty Votes gets a hard time at it, didn't he?
It does, but he had, I mean, we had what we didn't think was going to happen. It's been 20 years or whatever since we made a tournament, and we didn't think that was going to happen, but all the players got old at the same time, so it was we'll need to make a whole new team here. And it was a time where a lot of foreign guys were coming into the game and there wasn't a lot of players coming through, so Bertie had to go and make up a new team, and by doing that he had to have a look at players. He didn't have a great knowledge of British football by all accounts, and he had to go and bring players in that, as I said, he handed out a lot of cards, but you have to filter through the rubbish almost to get what you're wanting. And I mean, we made the playoffs. It was another glorious failure, but it was certainly for me and the younger ones, Fletch. It was great for us because it was the same. He had that encouragement. It was hard. It was hard, but he had the encouragement of, don't worry about it, just get on with it. And we'll take care of it.
I need to ask about, obviously, the flight you missed home.
Yeah.
What was it, a night out?
Night out at the end
Snaps?
of the... Aye, probably. A night out at the end of the... As I said, I wasn't a big drinker, so I got a wee bit excited, made my debut, and obviously missed my flight. Tam Burns phoned me when I get back. He says, oh, have you spoke to the manager? I says, no, I'm not want to speak to the manager. I was terrified. And he says, no, just phone him, he'll be fine. He's expecting your call. And I was like, oh, dreading it. So I phoned him, and I says, oh, boss, it's James. He says, oh, how are you? Are you okay? You had a good sleep and that? I says, aye, fine. He says, I'm really sorry. I've let you down and let myself down and everything. And he goes, don't worry about it. He says, everybody misses flights. I've missed a train and I've missed a bus. And he says, that's fine.
Spot on, mate.
Because I thought, right, my Scotland career's finished. And then I think I might have been in the next squad, but I just thought the way he dealt with that, even being foreign and what you think of the Germans, it's, you know, don't cross the line and everything's got to be perfect. It was absolutely brilliant.
What did you think of the publicity that got? Was it a bit of a shock?
Aye, it was a wee bit. I was embarrassed because everywhere I went, oh, look, and I was like, oh, right, all right. And it was embarrassing, but I same again, I was a young boy, so I didn't really, I had nothing, I stayed with mum and dad, I didn't have a girlfriend or anything, and I didn't have anybody to answer to really, apart from the manager, my manager at Motherwell and my mum and dad, and they were all fine, so I was all right. I just straight away, as soon as they were all fine, I went, well, it'll blow over. And then I think flying back into one of the London airports, it was the same time Roy Keane had walked out of the
Ireland camp,
the Ireland camp. So when I flew, touched down, there was all this press, and I thought, no way, no way. I play for Motherwell, what they wanting, and it was obviously for him. So
the Motherwell Evening Express.
So I was delighted that
you did
he'd done that. I was all right.
Brilliant, eh? Obviously, Bertie's best bit was getting to the playoffs with Holland. You scored that goal. Is there regrets that you never went through, do you think? Or were we not good enough?
No, I think the Saturday game, the first leg was as good as we were going to play and as bad as they were going to play. And the second leg was as good as they were going to play against as bad as we could play.
And were they good in the second leg?
Brilliant, brilliant. What they had was a team full of massive players, superstars. And then they lost that game, so they brought in Schneider, I think, played his first game. And we're like, wow. This wee 18-year-old for Ajax, brilliant. They've gave up here. Unbelievable he was. He was the best player on the pitch.
Was he popping it?
Brilliant. I think he scored 2 goals, sets him up, and I just think it went. Whatever could have went wrong for us went wrong. I remember looking up at the scoreboard and it was 6-0. I think there's still over half an hour to play, and I just thought,
get me up the road.
Keep it at 6. And that's something you don't think you should ever say, but you were thinking, keep it at 6.
See, when you first went into Scotland, did you think the group of players that were there at that time with you and Fletch, we're good enough to make it to eventually get to a finals?
I think we had, I keep saying it, the same, like, it wasn't arrogance, it was just I had a pure belief. First of all, myself, and obviously the more I played with Scotland, the better it got. I seemed to revel in playing for Scotland. Fletch was a young boy at Man United. I don't think he played many games. Bertie brought him in, and it was like we had Ferry, Davy Weir. We had a lot of good older ones as well. Fergie probably wasn't that old at the time, mind you, but it was like a good mix we had, and it was the start of building a good team, and we just felt as though we'd qualify. For me personally, I always thought, right, we'll qualify, but teams have qualified before. The aim for us is, once we've qualified, to go and get out the groups and really make a statement for Scottish football, because it's something that we've never done. So that was a belief that we had as a team, and I think we had the players to do it, but just unfortunate we never done it.
Speaking of Scotland again, the Euro 2008 campaign everyone talks about. What was it about the Scotland team that made you play so well?
I think Walter Smith had come in, and we'd got at the start to finish off the Bertie Vogts, and it started to build a real spirit in the team. We had a lot of mixed Old Firm players. When they met up, it was Scotland. That was it. They still had guys that sat in different tables and stuff like that, but we kind of socialised a bit better in that campaign, and I think it was... Was
that just natural, or was it something
I think, well, it was... I think it was just, I don't know, it just felt like a club. It was like a club atmosphere. Sometimes you go away, it's maybe who you're playing or where you're going to, or some of the guys in it. Maybe you don't need to like everybody. That's not what I'm saying. But we just talk. Everybody got on. You had a good laugh. The banter was brilliant. Was sitting.
Who was the characters? Yourself?
Fletch was always there. Everybody. That's what I'm saying. There wasn't any real quiet ones, but the main core of the squad was always the same. So it was like we sit in a room like this with a projector playing Pro Evo or FIFA, whatever it was, like 10, 12, 15 of the squad. You wouldn't, that's unheard of, that wouldn't happen. And that was a club, that was like a club set up, and that's all you would have tournaments. First to 3.5, usual. If you stay on, get 5, you need to stand behind the projector till the next game finishes, so you're just on. So it was like wee things like that. We had a great spirit, and that came from obviously the management doing, and Alec McLeish carried that on, because the backroom staff kind of stayed the same. But it was a good atmosphere.
How was it? How was Walter Smith?
He was brilliant. Didn't say loads, just had an aura, just respectful straight away. And it was the same. You had your shape and how you played and that, but it was go and play well. Walter, actually, when he first came in, he brought in Billy McCulloch. I don't know if you saw the pictures of the Chelsea match. Absolutely mental.
Is he funny? Is he?
Brilliant. But like Walter was dead serious all the time. And I think it was one of my first trips away. I missed Walter's maybe the first game, and I went away the next game. So he's done all the team talking. We're all get boots, everything's ready to go. You're just sitting, Walter's talking, and he's like got his watch and he goes, right, I've said everything I've got to say. Billy up, you get. I'm like, what's going on here? Am I sewer up? He just starts telling jokes, rolling about the flare and all that. We're all pissing ourselves laughing.
Just to relax you before you went
in. And it was something I'd never saw before. And that was the last thing you remember. You're still in the tunnel going, I'm doing all that. It was mental.
Because you obviously had Coisty and Tommy Burns as well. Was it a good mix between you two?
It was. Tommy, obviously, they had the Celtic Rangers thing, but...
Would they have a lot of banter about that?
Definitely. But they were good with people. They were good at managing people. We played, some of the boys used to play cards, and it would get heated. Kenny Miller and Neil McCann. Kenny, when he plays cards, wants to play everybody's horn for them, and Neil they're playing a game. I think it was Hearts they were playing, so they all kind of knew. I don't know how to play it, but they knew what each other had, and they played the rang. Somebody played the rang card, so the two of them were shouting. I think it was Slovenia were away, so we were up, and it was like a mezzanine. Sitting at the top of the stairs, two of them are close to coming to blows, like screaming in each other's face, and Tam Burns comes walking up the stair. I was like, oh no, what's going to happen here? So he just walks right up and goes, oh. And the two of them just go, start laughing. That was it, done. Nothing more was said about it. Just killed it, stone dead. He was brilliant. Even training, everything was serious, but as I said, he made a mistake. Tam was...
On you straight away.
We've got guys that can do that, and Like, brilliant. He was
Because
brilliant.
Walter Smith tells the story was his first team taught, he looked round and Tommy was sleeping.
I used to sleep all the time. We'd do the video meeting and just everybody just see Tam falling back or doing. So he's like, Tam's actually sleeping.
Not even for a laugh, he is actually sleeping.
A wee bit boring for you, Tam.
Because I think when Walter Smith and Ali McCoy went back to Rangers after Scotland, Tam came into the Celtic first team and with his bags back. That's me off the Ibrox, lads.
I went to join the dream team. That was him. And then, even then, I think some of the boys are like, I say actually.
Some man. Obviously, we need to talk about the goal against France. You've spoken about it a lot, but what kind of feeling was that hitting that goal?
I've spoken about it quite a lot. I mean, initially when I hit it, I wasn't sure if it went in because it was so silent. It was like a stunned silence, and then the reaction obviously going in, and it was just going back to saying about the Holland game. That was as good as we were going to play, and it wasn't even similar to that in terms of France were good that night, but we were really good. Everybody put in great performance. Craig Gordon was outstanding in goal. I always say Graham Alexander, never renowned for his pace up against Ribery, and he played him out the game. Graham was playing left back and Ribery was playing the right wing, and it was a great performance for him. And it was just an overall. Everybody talks about scoring that goal, but the team performance that night was unbelievable.
See, after the first leg, when you win it, can you celebrate, or is it still quite
Well,
muted?
that one was we played. Obviously, it was in the group, so it was a Wednesday, and then you fly back, and generally I was at Everton at the time, so I was training the next day.
So no
you've no
beers
time.
or nothing there?
No, you've no time.
So you didn't really get a chance to enjoy it?
No, because we had went for that to playing Man United at home on a Saturday, so it was kind of
non-stop.
Although it was massive, and it sounds big time as anything, but I played against some of the players. I was used to playing against players at that level, and I was going to play against players just as good on a Saturday, so it wasn't like a one-off game. It was a one-off in terms of the goal and what it meant, but I had to be professional and just concentrate and getting a cool down the next day and get ready to sit on the bench on the Saturday.
Obviously, George Burley then followed that period. What was it like seeing some of the things unfold? Was it hard?
Aye, it was difficult because we'd done so well, and
see, when he first got the job, was
a great appointment. I thought on the face it, obviously the job he'd done at Hearts. People say a lot if they'd stayed at Hearts manager, they would have challenged probably for the league, and I believe it. I believe that because they were doing so well. And when they came in, we thought, right, brilliant. We saw that Hearts team. They were attacking, they were expansive, and it was obviously wasn't going to work because that wasn't what we were used to doing. But it was exciting to think as an attacker, we're going to go and get at teams and we're going to go and steamroll them, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out with them, and it's a shame, but sometimes that happens.
Was there concerns straight away, or?
No, I don't know. I mean, you know, sometimes managers have meetings and that, and they've got their own wee sayings, and boys used to pick up and things like that. And it was some of the stuff was quite funny, which probably wasn't right. But I liked him. He tried to do it right, and I had a lot of respect for him, and it just didn't work out.
And then Craig Levein takes over.
Yep.
What occurred to result in what was it? You playing left at back 10? Were you not happy with
it? No, I honestly don't know what happened. I went to one of his first meetings and I was injured, but I went anyway because he was new manager, and I always turned up. I never pulled out any squads without going unless I was in hospital or really properly injured. But I had a groin strain, and I went up, didn't trained the day of the game, I think, and it was shooting, and it just wasn't right, and I thought I'm going to have to come off here, so there's no point. So that was fine, didn't have any problem with it. And then I played the next game, I think it was against Sweden. Away, we lost, but I'd played well. I thought I'd played well. Played wide left, Lee Wallace behind me, Gary Kenneth played, and I thought I played well. I tried, as I said, wide left, 4-5-1. A couple of times worked back, because I remember it sticking in my mind. And then we met up for the Lithuania game, we had a meeting, and he says, I just want to go over some things for the Sweden game. So it was 5 clips, and 4 of them were about me, no defending, or no doing what he wanted me to do. And I was like, I think I'd done all right in that game. So for then I knew I wasn't going to play, but I just thought, fine, he's a manager, I've been in places before, I'll just train hard, wait for my chance and I'll take it. I'm not going to cause any problems because it was my Scotland. If you're not playing, then you just go home, mate, and work hard. So played the Lithuania game. We had a load of chances. I'd have definitely scored. I was playing well at the time, and I came on, done well. The next game, the fans obviously we drew nothing each. We had a few chances, we never took it. You get a bit of hard time in the press, and you get a hard time off the fans saying that myself and Boydie should have played. And I think leading up to the Liechtenstein game, it was some of the comments that he made were like, well, more or less, well, this is what you've asked for. Going like them to win the game for us then. And I was like,
putting all the pressure
that's not somebody who wants you to do well. That's somebody who's kind of been forced into making a decision he doesn't want to make. For me, if you don't want me or Boydie or whoever to play, don't play them. And say, I pick a team and that's it. But played the game, and it was it's the worst game I've had for Scotland, and I played 48 times for Scotland, and it's the one game I remember being really poor. I don't think there's many more where I would say I was rubbish. I always seem to play well for Scotland, and I was poor. But I think I knew the situation. I knew I should have played the week before. I wasn't sulking. And I just felt as though it was like I tried too hard. That was my only thing. I tried too hard. I was trying to do too much. And he brought me in half time. Says, making a change. You're coming off. Called me lazy. Says you're lazy. And I had a wee bit argument. And then I just took all my stuff off and stormed into the shower. And that was it. The next week, I think I played. The next week, I had one more game. I went back, and Art McLeish was my manager at Birmingham at the time, and he says, what about that? I says, I don't know, but I mean, I feel as though I was set up to. No, it wasn't his fault. I didn't play well, but it was like almost hoping that I'd fail, and I did. I was poor, and I accept not playing well, but I don't accept being called lazy. I never have. I've never been lazy. So I wasn't happy about that, and I think we were preparing for the game. We played in Liverpool at home on the Saturday. Peter Grant was assistant, and he came through and he went, "Managers, what I see?" And I went, "Oh, I don't know." He says, "This isn't what I need. This isn't what I need." So he says, "Right, sit down." And I went, "All right." And I had a good relationship with Alec McLeish. He goes, "Right, I'm not playing you off the left today." And I went, "Oh." He says, "I'm going to play you up front." And I went, "Oh, brilliant." Brilliant. He says, "Get up front, get in the hole, get back on." I think it was Steven Gerrard. Get back on him, Lucas. Make sure they don't get on the ball and that. We drew nothing each, but I played well. I got man of the match, and I just thought for then I was like, "This is brilliant. I'll be fine. I'll get back in the squad and I'll go and show them I'm ready." And then the next week I done my cruise shoot, and I was out for over a year, and that was it. So
did you ever speak to Craig Levein again now?
I spoke to, at the time leading up to it, I spoke to Boydie. Boydie was on the phone. He says, "Look, what we got to do?" I says, "I'm going to just get my head down, play for Birmingham, and the next squad, if I'm in it, I'm going to speak to him, and if I'm not in it, I'll phone him." I says, "But I'm not doing it now because I don't think it's the time. I'd rather see him and speak to him face to face." He says, No, I'm phoning him." So I think Boydie phoned him, and that was it. Boydie wasn't involved again. And then I got injured, so I just let it go. It was back and forth a wee bit in the press, and I thought, right, I'm not talking about this anymore. It's done. I don't want to detract from what the team are trying to do. It's always, every time there's a meet up, "Oh, what do you think about this?" And I just didn't want to be that guy. I'm not a bitter guy. And then I went to Sunderland, so it was maybe 2 years later, and he was still the manager. I don't know how long it was. I was playing a reserve game for Sunderland. Phil Barsley was playing in it. Somebody, Big Mick, might have been there for Middlesbrough. Somebody else was there so he was down watching this at a training ground. Right. So I saw him. That was the first time I saw him. So I walked up to him. I think Big Mick was pulling him and all. As I walked up to him, he went, "Oh, you looking sharp there." And I went, "You sound surprised." And he went, No, I don't mean that." And I just says, "Look, there's a lot of stuff that went on. I never went through the whole thing." I says, "I never phoned you because I wanted to speak to you." I says, "But I wasn't happy how it was done. I've played under some great managers. I've played in the Premier League, and I've not done that because I'm lazy. I'm not a lazy player. I don't like being called lazy. You can say whatever else you want, but I work hard." He says, "No, look, I didn't handle it the right way, and if it happened now, I would do it differently. So I'm really sorry." I says, "That's fine." I says, "All I wanted was to tell you that I'm not lazy, and I didn't like the way it was handled." And he says, "No, he says that's I didn't handle it well. He says, if I pick you for the next squad, will you come in? I says, aye. I've never said I wouldn't. And he got sacked before the next squad. So it was all sorted. It just played out longer than it would. I've said this before as well. If you have any kind of argument with your manager or whatever on a Saturday, you go and see him on a Monday, or he sees you on a Monday, so it's done. But that was an international game where you leave, you're away down the road, you keep reading stuff about how you're lazy, how you're not good enough, how this and that.
And it just
keeps going. Whereas normally you go in and go, right, Gaffer, I'm not happy. Either sorry for how I reacted, but I'm not accepting that. Right, fine, this is what we're doing, move on. I never really got that opportunity. I did, it was just a wee bit longer in coming, but it was fine now. And I've saw Craig before, since, and it's not, I'm never going to be his best mate, but it's no something that eats away at me.
Obviously, you mentioned the 48 caps, a bit gutted that you never made 50, because you're such a great player for Scotland. It'd have been right for you to make 50 caps.
I mean, I'm no bitter about it. I wish that I did have 50, but I'm no bitter about it. I've got 48. You know, I was delighted to get one, so I got 48.
Some great memories.
Brilliant,
for them as well.
honestly, brilliant. The Scotland career I had, I wish it was lasted longer, and I wish there was merit. But for what I had and what I done with Scotland, nobody can take that away from me.
All the best for whatever happens in the future, mate. Thanks very much for doing that.
No bother. Cheers.